So a book about the color blue. That's what this book is about, in case the cover didn't give it away. The thing is, I know I set out to write a book about the color blue, but when you write a book and then you go out to talk about it, people go, what was your thought process in deciding to write a book about the color blue? Because I remember going to a friend's house for dinner and going, I think I'm going to write the next book about the color blue, and it sounded good, but I don't remember actually having that thought, for the first time. Like, what were you looking at when you decided you were going to write a book about the color blue? Because, it's like if they said, where did you come up with meerkat pizza delivery? And I would go, well, these meerkats live in these little communities. I wonder where they get their pizza at. And so that whole saga, for those of you who don't know, I do this thing on the internet for no other reason than it annoys people, which are little teeny tiny stories and cartoons about the meerkat pizza delivery guys, which don't really exist. Unless you're a child. And if you're a child, they do, and they live happily with Santa and the Tooth Fairy. And humankind. Other mythical beasts. So your first, but I don't remember, I know, and then you go, oh, now I understand. You're just high all the time. Not that you know of. Although, did you see, speaking of pizza delivery, did you see the medical pot delivery guy, I think somewhere down in the LA area, which is like everything south of San Luis Obispo, got robbed by ninjas? Specifically, 6 ninjas. Okay, you might think I'm high talking about, I write a book about the color blue and, meerkat pizza delivery. But that was clearly I've got to come up with something because I smoked some of the pot. And I want to know where it is. And now that it's legal, you can't just do what you would have done in the old days. It's like, we're going to have to kill him, Because now it's legal, you can't do that. It's more like, otherwise, if you could just kill the delivery guy, then Domino's would take that 30 minutes or less shit a lot more seriously. I don't know, 32 minutes, we're going to have to whack him, and we get a free pizza. But, so he was like, I was robbed. And then they were like, you seem really high, and he's like, by ninjas. So I couldn't see that. Could you describe them? Oh, they were invisible. I have to say, I really wish I had come up with that. It was like the first quote reality thing. I went, I wish I had come up with that. Anyway, I think the pot deliverers should unionize. They really should. If you want to know why, it's like, deal with how bad the FedEx guys are as opposed to the UPS guys. Just a moment here. The UPS guys actually show up. The FedEx guys drive up and down my street going, I don't see, it's not, they'll send stuff back and like, that's not a real address. So I had this big sign made up, and it was in orange and blue, and it was, excuse me while I go away from the microphone, this big, and it said, hey FedEx guys, with a big arrow pointing to the number on my house. Which turns out made me friends with all the UPS guys. They're like, I love your sign. And I have a FedEx guy that comes to my house and starts fights with me. I'm not kidding you. This is not in the notes. I just decided to tell you what this. This guy will come up and he'll go, see you have an Obama Biden sticker in the window, and I go, yeah, it's kind of faded. It's like, well, the vaccinations cause autism. Every time he's delivering something I have to sign for, he's like throws this stuff out. And the last time I was like, dude, you have got to get your news somewhere besides talk radio. There's a guy And he goes, there's a guy up on Broadway, Jules Older, who's always fighting with me about that too. And I'm like, and Jules is a writer and is a friend of mine, and is usually here at these events, but I think he's off skiing somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, I know Jules. He probably knows you're an idiot too. But the UPS guys are like, I get my health care paid for. I'm not going to piss you off because I don't like Obama. Anyway, so what was I going to talk about?